Okay. And it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go! It's finally from Marco Pajic. He leads off from pole position as we race down into the first corner. Enzo Benito trying to challenge, but Pajic has the whole shot, racing down towards the likes of Eau Rouge and Radeon. G2 Esports being pushed out wide as we're side by side towards one of the most famous corners in world motorsport. Fantastic stuff here. Let's see if Redline can work their way through. Was that right?
It's Tourmaline squeezing as much as possible against the wall. They're trying to hold on to the place, but can't quite do it. Now up the hill through the kink on the straight, and now the Kemmel straight itself up towards Les Combes. Tourmaline will gain all the time. There's a fight for the lead going on here as well, side by side between Luke Bennett around the outside of Marco Pajic, Renzo Benito, excuse me, around the outside of Marco Pajic. He does get the lead as well. Fantastic overtake, as does Darren McCormack and Kuba Brzezinski crawling over Erhan Yuyovski.
Yeah, it's Brzezinski coming through first. It's McCormack with the green highlights going around the outside. You told me about the wing mirrors. It doesn't matter, but it does. You can tell the difference as they race their way down the hill. It's been, like I say, a difficult start at the moment for Pajic, losing out to the race lead, but it's nothing too bad as we head down the hill towards Pouhon. Let's see if there's going to be any chops and changes. I think the answer to that question is no. Bit of a slip of oversteer, though, from the R8G man as he's trying to just about hang on. I get the feeling as well, McCormack was wide behind.
Yeah, I agree. Bennett's very much stuck in the mid-pack now, though. This is not a position we've seen him in so far today. He's been up second place in race 1 and 2 at the end, gaining a lot of points, but now the real test of his nerve will begin. At the front, though, Enzo Benito, fantastic start for Redline. They want to get as many drivers into the second day as possible.
Yeah, here is Darren McCormack dealing with the pressure from... Oh, who is that behind? Oh, it's Luke Bennett. Oh, this could be a spicy fight. They got contact in the previous race. Will they do so in this one? Of course, it came from a big send from Bennett going into the arena section. Let's see what's going to happen here coming down into the bus stop. Bennett's not close enough to try anything, nor is McCormack on Yuyovski ahead, nor is any one of those behind desperate to do so as we complete the first lap. They're all line astern.
They are indeed. It's indeed very close, actually, between all of the 12 drivers, all within a second. Nobody's fallen off the back, and that is going to provide good racing up towards Les Combes, I would imagine. It's all about your run out of La Source, though. Need that sort of little bit later braking, a little bit later apex, get on the power, and you can try and make that move. I don't know if Bennett's quite going to be able to do that, and even he is one of the closest, though it is a long straight, and there's a slightly increased slipstream effect.
Yeah, it is slightly more than what we've had in the online rounds. They've tried making it a little bit more raceable, and that'll be more prevalent here at Spa. And of course, the next time we go racing with Group A, and will be the final race of the day when we go racing with the Autodromo Internazionale de Monza. Let's see what's going to happen here. There's a bit of a defensive move being taken there from Mac Backham, trying to fend off James Baldwin after a poor qualifying. We saw the shakes of the head from the race winner earlier on in the day as he still hangs on to 9th. Yuri Kasdorp has been told to drop back a position.
He's last, though. So I don't know how he's going to do that.
I think he gave up the position to Neil Niles.
Oh, he's already done it. Okay, that's fine. There we are. I didn't actually see what happened. I don't know if you did, but...
I think it probably would have been a little bit of a tough racing over the top of Radeon.
Yeah, or indeed Les Combes, I don't know. But didn't take the stewards very long to decide quite what to do with that, and in the end Kasdorp drops to the back. In fact, the bottom 3 drivers in your standings at the moment already know that they won't be progressing to J2. In fact, only 3 drivers who are outside of that cut at the moment can still make it, but it's really important. Marco Pajic is one of those who's really kind of on the bubble there. Tourmaline as well, as we look at the start again.
Yeah, we'll take a look at this once again. So it's that good start from Enzo Benito. It was actually pretty decent from Pajic here as we head down into the first corner, but it was that overspeed up and over the top of the Kemmel curve. You've also got the battle in the background with Brzezinski working his way through, but this was a move around the outside of Les Combes as Enzo Benito threw it in, trying to get around the outside of Pajic. Space given between the pair, and again, that was brilliant from the pair of them, as it was from Brzezinski as well behind to take 3rd.
Absolutely, yeah. It's so easy to run each other out of road through Les Combes there when you're twisting and turning, but fantastic driving, fantastic respect between Enzo Benito and Marco Pajic, possibly because both of these drivers know that they can't really afford penalties. In terms of points, they can't afford to lose those places, so whether it's 1st or 2nd, they'll fight for it, of course, but they can't afford a penalty that will drop them all the way down. This field is still remarkably close for this stage in the race. Marco Pajic just has that little bit of a slide out of La Source. I don't know if he's going to be close enough for a move this time.
Yeah, the slipstream will just pull all the drivers along, basically. So, first give the slipstream the second give the slipstream the third, and so on. And so in the mid-pack, you kind of, because the car ahead has slipstream, you kind of can't, you're getting the slipstream off of them. It's not as if it's a double slipstream. You are going a little bit faster than you would with just one, but it's nothing too crazy. Pejich, though, is going faster with just the one as we're heading onto the Kemmel Straight, and Pejich is going to get to the inside and retake over the race lead for Mercedes. Benito's not going to fight it too hard, but he drops down to second, and that one gets a little bit of a clap from I assume it's more of the Mercedes bunch, but you know, I think I saw a few Porsches clapping that as well.
Wow, that's quite
controversial.
Controversial, yeah.
But German manufacturers, they're at each other's throats.
I know.
But, you know.
Marco Pejich, though, up towards the lead. I did say that he was too far back. It does show a lot about the slight increase in slipstream, especially compared to what we had in Katowice back at the very first event. It's been slowly kind of brought up in a couple of increments across the course of the season, and now you can see that it is a much bigger effect than previously. So that's allowed Pejich to get through. In all fairness, though, he looks quicker than Benito anyway, based on the first half of this next lap.
Yeah, he's just missed the apex a little bit there, although he's probably actually gone for more of a late one, to be perfectly honest. Just finding that bit going through the PIF and then into the path and up towards campus. And at the moment, why are you smiling at that? It's just such a good way of saying that corner.
It's far corner names, isn't it? Just a complete mess.
Started. Do not get me started. I stick with mine, you stick with yours, and we'll confuse the audience together, all right? Again, you let us know on social media what corner names you give to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, because I guarantee they're wrong. But either way, let us know at ESL_R1, or of course hashtag ESLR1 to get in touch. And as well, send us your questions, because we want to answer them in about the most confusing way possible, but you know, that's fine. It's to be fair, you know, that's fine. And do not forget to get on that survey, !survey in the Twitch chat, where you can then let us know what you've been thinking of the champion so far, what you thought about the online rounds, and what you think about the path to come, and where you think we should be heading for ESL R1.
Absolutely.
What do you think? No, I'm throwing you right under that.
Yeah, that's terrible. I'd like to see the survey. But anyway, Jakub Brzezinski very close to Enzo Benito, as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. There's Marco Pejich on the right-hand side. You can see clear road in front of him. Not a worry in the world, although Benito will be closing here. Less than 4/10 of a second. He won't be close enough. That will probably allow him to hold off from Brzezinski. Erhan Yayovski is quite close to making a move for a podium place here, though. They're all single file up towards Les Combes.
But this is the thing, is that Benito did, when he took over the race lead, he was able to hold it for a lap and then got caught in by Pejich. So I kind of wonder if this time by, well, the next time they go over on the Kemmel Straight, if maybe then he'll actually once again have the speed. I don't know why it took 2 laps, but who knows? Maybe you just need to get yourself in position for the right opportunity. It's kind of one of those things where you might think, okay, what you want to do is you want to wait until the last lap and then try and make the move. I think that's wrong. I think that's, I get it, I get the logic, because you're then making the move on the Kemmel Straight when you can't be re-overtaken on the Kemmel Straight, right? That's great, but then you're putting all of your pressure, all of your eggs into one basket of making that move right at that one right time.
It's a dangerous game, isn't it? Because, as you say, you're only giving yourself one chance. Although, when you give yourself multiple, maybe you go through on lap 5, maybe Benito is going to be leading through the next lap. That allows Pejich at least 2 chances to come back at you again. So it's a really dangerous game. It's a really fine balance in between those two as well, in terms of trying to obviously have enough time to make the move, but also not get re-overtaken again before the end of the race. So it's a difficult balance to strike. So far, this race single file as we go and look at what happened when we exchanged the race lead between these two.
Yeah, you can see the, once again, decent drive up over Eau Rouge and Radi on that slipstream, really taking into decent effect as they head up towards the end of the Kemmel curve. The curve starts on the left-hand side. It's basically the start of where the braking zone is, and onto the brakes, Pejich went to take over the race lead. Benito didn't fight that one particularly hard. Will he try and get back through relatively soon? We've got 3 laps left to go. And yeah, the thing is, I've always said when it comes to those kind of things where you're trying to time it right, if you're trying to manipulate the race to like kind of, you know, make sure that your the driver you're battling with is going to overtake it at the right point. It's a big game of chess. Sometimes overthinking it is a mistake. Just go for the move.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with you at all. This is a very, very interesting battle now, though. Darragh McCormack and Luke Bennett, after having made contact in the previous race. Darragh not pleased with Bennett at all. He goes on the defensive, and the straight line speed of the Mercedes right now is just about enough. Bennett will go to the outside. Darragh squeezes as much as possible, but Bennett forced to tuck in behind. That's the first little inkling as to a battle that we might get going forward in this race.
Yeah, battle on the left-hand side of your screen, battle on your right is for third position as well. Brzezinski and Yujovski, again, two drivers that have fought their way in their sim racing past. On the left, it's two drivers that haven't fought their way too much in their sim racing past. However, they have made a bit of contact and a bit of controversy indeed in that previous race. Two of sim racing's young guns on the left-hand side, and I am going to be rude, and I'll say that Yujovski and Brzezinski are two of the elder statesmen. Not quite Niels Nyok's level. Not on par
worse, this sentence.
Not on par with the Silver Fox. But all right. Anyway, you've got a spade for me to dig my hole. That's fine. Okay. Right. Moving on.
It's Yoni Chobler's with them as well. We can add them into the mix if you want to.
Oh, my
but we're getting in a lot of trouble here. But anyway, no, I agree with you though. It's two drivers who are obviously pretty fresh into the sim racing game. I say pretty fresh. They have been around a fairly decent amount of time.
It's about three and a bit years.
It's a decent amount of time, but they're just not that old yet. You know, it's the lack of experience, I guess, in that respect.
I will say Bennett has been in sim racing for less time than you think. Right, he's been at the front of sim racing for a little while, but he's only been in. I think he only got into sim racing. I was chatting to him and his dad at Donington Park a week ago, and can't remember. I think it was like he only got into sim racing like around COVID time, so it was only like a couple of years ago.
I saw a nod.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, no, so it's not actually been that crazy, and yet he's just ridiculously fast. That to me is so irritating. You would not believe.
Yeah, some people are just really irritatingly talented, aren't they?
It's so bad. And then there's us.
You can work in it for so long, and then someone like Bennett comes along and just wipes the floor with everyone. And so far, he has been doing that in this championship. He's still championship leader, but will be losing a few points here with this result, you'd imagine, or at very least giving an opportunity to Marcel Chinchik and Josh Rogers to catch up in the next race, which is when Group B return here for the second race at Spa. Up towards Lecom again on the penultimate lap. It looks like everybody will stay where they are.
Yeah, there's no switches just yet. You'll see anyone popping out, and at the moment on the penultimate lap, no one's trying to do anything. You might think this is boring, but for me, I think this is building up towards a barnstorming final lap. Surely everyone's going to give something a go on that final lap. Someone's got to try something. Again, we're talking about points. We're talking about drivers that are close to the cutoff. Drivers that are fighting for their final positions inside that top 12 to move through into Sunday's action. Like you said, there's only really three that can fight their way into it. And right now, you know, if you're even close to it, even if you're in 10th position, you think you're safe. Never think you're safe. Score as many points as you can, because it'll still put you in a decent position for tomorrow.
Absolutely. And by the way, James Baldwin, down in 10th place right now, needs a top 9 to guarantee himself a place in the next in the top 12. Of course, he probably will anyway, as we know. But right now, he's not doing it, and we'll probably have to rely on the results of the next race, which is when Group B return for their third race of the afternoon. There he is at the back of Mitchell de Jong.
Which are the drivers, by the way, those three? You're the one that did the maths earlier. I completely forgot to.
The ones who are outside at the moment? Or?
Well, yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, so Nikodem Wisniewski is not in this one, of course. I think Benito is just the wrong side of that at the moment, and I can't remember. He's pretty tight. Torbola's in and around there, although his race win just now will have jumped him up wildly. So there's quite a few in that conversation, and to be honest, well, there's only 3 below that line. It's about 8 above it.
We will absolutely keep our eye on it, especially heading into the fourth race and such. We'll let you know exactly the dots and details of exactly what's been going on, of who's doing what, of who's fighting for what, and of who needs to fight for what. But right now we are focused on a race, what really looks like it's become for second place, because Marco Pajic, rather than feeling the pressure of Enzo Benito, has checked out into the distance. He's got 1.1 seconds over Benito. Brzezinski behind, we're on board with Yujovski behind that, who's not got too much pressure coming in from Dara McCormack, who's still feeling it from his close rival of Luke Bennett.
Yeah, they're not quite so close. It's Tomola who looks like he might make a move on Bennett there, and Brzezinski is appearing next to Benito right now. Outside line in towards Lecom for him. They'll go side by side. Great move from Brzezinski. Bit of contact, but he's through into second place.
Bravo. Well, great move from from Brzezinski, just about the amount of space given that was required. Erhan Yayovski will try and work his way through, and it does seem as though the BMW of the Team Redline car is starting to struggle a little bit on its tyres potentially. It certainly isn't looking as fast as it did in the earlier stages. Pejic has checked out, and now he's got a couple of Mercs that's come through, and you have to deal with the pressure of the Audi R8 of Erhan Yayovski as well.
Pejic is only 1 point above the cut line going into this, so this race win won't guarantee himself a place, of course, but it will do a great deal to help him. If Erhan Yayovski can get onto the podium, he will guarantee a place in the top 12 as well.
There we go, all looking to book their place into the all-important Sunday, the final Sunday of the ESL R1 spring season, as we build up towards the championship finale, as we build up towards who's going to be on top and who's going to be taking home that fantastic trophy behind us. We don't know who it's going to be right now. We won't until deep into tomorrow, but right now, Marco Pejic is running away.
He absolutely is. Erhan Yayovski getting close to Benito, but I don't think he's quite going to get there in time. It's been a great drive from Marco Pejic, though. Nice lap to get pole position. Did have a little bit of a shaky moment when he got overtaken, but he's retaken that lead and hasn't looked back since.
Well, Marco Pejic only has a final couple of corners. Like you say, he put in a great effort in qualifying. He comes into that final corner and looks to take a second victory for Mercedes of the day. But here comes Erhan Yayovski, almost having a look on Enzo Benito into that final corner. It's more of a look trying to force a mistake as Pejic comes out to take victory at Spa. It's a historic circuit and it's a historic win for Marco Pejic as he takes top honours here in a fantastic drive. He had to time it to perfection, he had to come back through and had to fight off Enzo Benito, and he took victory in fantastic fashion.